Yeah. Well, you can kind of see I have not been doing stuff live recently. No, this is not the only reason. But here's something pretty problematic with going live. Yeah, obviously I'm still on a different carrier from the one I was using up until a few months ago, and I basically get no reception at all. I'm using YouTube app, thinking that YouTube app probably is pretty okay at keeping the connection going, with a like adjustable bandwidth of the stream, and like proper streaming applications, they just they just cannot handle it. You know, they go berserk. They basically say, well, there's no internet at all, we're gonna drop the whole thing. Okay, so let's see how this thing functions. Yeah, guys, it's been a while. So, if you look at my Patreon, I've been busy recently. Basically, across zero, my my little novel, I have finally finished the final two chapters. Chapter 5, which is actually, well, they start with zero. Chapter 5 is, I kind of deemed it a draft, and chapter 6 I deemed it zero draft because I hardly did anything to chapter 6. But 5, I did give 5 kind of like a pass on basic, you know, literacy of the language. So much fallen stuff. Wasn't really here last time, which was day before. Yeah. Anyway, so normally on something like this, I would only take Ein, but I just gotten home from being away for 2 days, and I don't know. I probably don't have time to walk them by themselves. It's a bit confusing for dogs to be walking like that. Also, I cannot go in the forest like this because it's just way too much, it gets all tangled up, and I usually akimbo them, obviously, but right now I'm doing this with two hands. Anyway, so yeah, Death Stranding, a pretty interesting situation. Recently came on PC, and it actually runs on my old laptop. I don't know, some Decima engine frigging magic, because most games, and not even just Unreal Engine 5 games, just wouldn't launch on my laptop at all, which really made me realize how superior it is. Just like, PC as a platform. Because, yeah, like, we could just, like, imagine, with the technological leap, PlayStation 1 would never run a PlayStation 2 game, no matter how low, you'd put the settings. Like, there's just no way. PlayStation 2 would never, no matter how you optimize it, right, would run a PlayStation 3 game. Well, unless we're talking about cross-generational games, of course, that were like PlayStation 3 games, but actually they were PlayStation 2, like The Godfather, for example. But we could even, if you absolutely want to, for the sake of the argument, say that PlayStation 3 could never run a PS4 game. Although it could. I mean, Catherine, Persona 5, I think even MGS5, right, has a PS3 version. So, like, yeah, they could. Maybe on PS4 it would be 30 FPS, 60 FPS, right, and 1080p. On PS3 it's 720p and 30 FPS. Exactly the point I'm trying to make. So imagine if on my old AF, like literally 2 generations behind at this point laptop, if you can run Death Stranding 2 on it, like, you can absolutely run it on PS4, or you can run it on like Xbox One, even, like, easily. There's no way in hell You know, those consoles wouldn't run Death Stranding on lowest settings, 720p, 30 FPS. Like absolutely, 100% things would run. But of course, the game kind of looks like shit, and frame rate periodically goes to like 10. So unfortunately, you know, console guys, console people, they cannot. Like, I don't know, if I were a consumer, and if I were at least given the option, I would have taken it. Because why not? Like, okay, so say there's a video game you really want to play, but you cannot afford like $3,000 for PS4, PS5 Pro. Like, how is, like, I don't know. It's playable. It's playable on my laptop. Looks like crap. It runs like crap, but it's playable. It actually runs. It only crashed once. Like, I don't know, guys. If it actually runs, then why not? With a console, you just never be able to do that. And yeah, you cannot make an argument, right? That like, oh no, of course you need a PS5. How would you ever run a game like that on PS4? Easy. You just do. You know, it just runs. It runs on my laptop. It would definitely run on PS4 then, or Xbox One. Granted, actually, with 8 gigs of RAM, maybe it wouldn't, right? But, well, just hypothetical, it might. Who knows? Especially if you could upgrade the RAM a little bit. So yeah, interesting, right? Ani, we're not going into the forest. I'm sorry. Let's go back. Come on, shoot. I cannot go there right now. Not with, like, I'm not even akimboing you guys. I'm one-handing both of you. That's ridiculous. I'm like, we're not going there. I'm already being tangled up here. Now I need to do an overhead. Okay. Huh. So yeah, overall, Death Stranding 2 is okay as an open slop game. It's not even remotely as good as Death Stranding 1, which was already like a, you know, recommendation with an asterisk. But 2 is, well, the world no longer feels alien, right? Death Stranding 1 was basically just 100% like Iceland/Scotland. And Death Stranding 2 is just it does have areas of it that kind of look like that look, dare I say, alien. But most of the game just looks like a very generic, very, you know, very Unreal-esque, actually. Kind of just like generic open world, you know, like, ooh, some desert, ooh, some stones, you know. It's basically just deserty area, like everywhere. There are certain areas that do look like, you know, they were completely effed up by void outs. There are some areas that just for some unspeakable reason look like Iceland or Scotland. But generally speaking, the game looks very generic. And the fact that, well, there's basically no challenge in it anymore. You pretty much just go in a straight line. That was actually one of my biggest criticism of Death Stranding 1 too. Death Stranding 1 had a lot of systems that you could use to quote-unquote conquer the environment, but like realistically, almost every time you face an obstacle, if you just look around, there is a path you can take that's like 10 meters away from you, to your left or to your right, that goes around, that will lead you around the obstacle. And Death Stranding 2 is that, but taking to just, you know, the state where there are no obstacles now. It's just a flat land. It's not literally flat, but you basically just walk it. Like, that's it. There are hardly any obstacles now. There are some kind of ish obstacles, but even those, it's like, well, remember how one of the first, it's like the first big distribution center that you find in the main map. It's like when you build the road, when the road goes to the right to go around the mountain and into the mountain, and to the left it goes into that like city that's by the tar lake. And right after it splits, there's this big distribution center by this giant river, and on the other side of the river there's a bit of space, and then on elevation there's like this weather station. To get to that weather station, you had to cross that river that would absolutely F you up. And then there was that danger zone from the bank of that river all the way to the weather station. There was a persistent BT area. And it was actually quite a journey to get there. It was kind of spooky. And I did end up going all the way to the station, to the weather station, actually without even using a ladder. There was one point where I thought, God damn it, I don't have a ladder with me. Like, I need a ladder right over there. And then I just, I walked for 10 seconds to the side, and there was just a path upward. And that seems to be a criticism with Death Stranding 2. Actually, Death Stranding 1 had the same problem. But overall, it had much more challenges like that. Who would have thunk? A game about traversal would have traversal challenges. Yeah, and Death Stranding 2 is literally the same game mechanically, but it doesn't have those challenges anymore. So, yeah, how fun is that? I may end up saying more on Death Stranding 2. I don't know. With fast traveling, now it feels like you just have this giant map to manage. With in Death Stranding 1, you had much more of like you are on a journey. You are here right now. What can you do here? How can you be productive as a delivery person? How can you get to wherever you need to go? In Death Stranding 1, it's just like, okay, do you want to teleport over there and see what deliveries you can do there? Okay, cool. Hey, actually, do you want to teleport with your delivery cargo? You can do that. Like, we're going to subtract some points, but you can still do it. So, like, technically, you don't even have to play the game anymore. You can just teleport everywhere, which is just like, isn't that supposed to be the point of the whole game? I don't know, guys. So yeah. Just the specific one thing I wanted to talk about, and I did, is that the game runs on my frigging laptop that's 10 years old. It's ridiculous. It actually does run. I mean, on the lowest settings, it kind of looks like crap, and for some reason, it will not. Even I did test it, by the way, on a proper computer, which wasn't mine. It has forced upscaling. Which is ridiculous. I know, forced ray tracing we have seen so far. Now I have finally seen for the first time forced upscaling, which results in, I believe most shadows in the game are baked, but there are some real-time shadows, and when you see them, they look like crap. They look like Unreal Engine 5, meaning they look all sandy and grainy. That's very Unreal Engine 5-esque, and I believe that's upscaling, because that's what all graphics look like when you use DLSS or any other upscaling technique. Like, everything just looks like there's just noise filter over everything. Only it's not noise filter on the screen; it's noise filter on each individual surface, like in the geometry of the game. Yeah. So Death Stranding 2, for some reason, now has that forced, which, like, okay. I don't know. But anyway, it does run, and I could actually still get some use out of that old laptop. And if instead of that, I had something like Xbox One, for example, I would have no use for that thing for years. I would have had no use for that thing for years now, and years and years and years. Okay, all of my dogs are properly tangled. Just wanted to quick update. I'm back. In case you haven't noticed that I'm back, there are signs of it on Patreon. I will keep uploading other formats and whatever for Cross Zero, and yeah, I'll do PDFs. I'll do like images and stuff like that separately, just in case anyone's into my Gen AI art, which I do put effort in, since I cannot, commission someone else to do it. It's AI, but it's maybe AI slob, but it's not slob. Yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, whatever. And also, I did apply to multiple universities, to multiple programs between 2 universities, and was rejected out of all of them. Now I have those rejections, and yeah, so that's not happening. I was alluding to quote unquote lifestyle changes potentially happening for the following year multiple times, and yeah, so those specific ones are not happening. I don't know if there's no point explaining. Those were all master programs because obviously guys, I'm pushing 40. You know, I cannot go to another bachelor unless it's like super remote one. And yeah, my current bachelor is trash, and it's hardly even recognized because it's you know, it's from overseas. But I was hoping that I could still kind of, you know, slide my way into a master's program because I mean, obviously, you know, my just years of activities, my portfolios and whatnot. Plus, technically, I do have a bachelor, so I think I was qualified. But of course, you need to be more than qualified. You need to know the right people. You know, you need to do it at the right time, whether it's a good time for, you know, to apply, whether it's a bad time to apply. Just like, you know, what kind of people are even being looked for at the moment. So yeah, didn't happen. Okay, not gonna go into detail. It was all pretty much arts related. And yeah, whatever else I bitched about on my last update, I'm gonna be still working on that. I don't know, did I make like a live-ish or whatever update on? It's all on Patreon anyway. I do have a completely new big build of Cloudum. It's out there. It's for free essentially. And yeah, Cross Zero is now done essentially. I mean, obviously, last couple of chapters could still use a few passes, but well, in time. Okay, this is sorry guys, this was a very, very emergency type of transmission. I need to untangle the dogs, and maybe some other time. And also, I don't get any reception here. I don't even know how this thing is working right now. Okay, bye bye. Subscribe to my OnlyFans.